with the first question. We are wondering, the outfit, the red, take us through it. Was it purposeful?
My outfit?
Yeah.
That's just what I thought of wearing today. I didn't have any special plans with it. I don't have a stylist.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, a more serious question, though. I mean,
And it's kind of not red. It's like a
my bad.
red or like a blood orange.
Okay.
Yeah, goes good with my hair.
Awesome. All right.
But thanks for noticing.
Yeah. Hey, we try. We try. You know. Pretty big win though for the team. I guess I'm curious, just your overall impressions. Everyone contributed. Even
Yeah.
you know, Courtney can't really buy a shot, but has career high tying 13 assists. Just team contribution. What are your?
Yeah, really happy. It was important that on a night where Courtney struggled a little bit, finding the bottom, that Mac have a big game, that T, that's we count on those two to pick each other up. T had a nice stretch in there where she helped us put the ball in the hole, and Jess's minutes terrific. I thought Jess was really, really good for us. I thought New York played great. I thought that maybe the time they spent together post Dallas game showed itself in our game, and they were a handful. And luckily we were able to score a little more than them. If the game went a little bit longer, that might not have been the case. A 31-point fourth quarter, not ideal. But we found a way to win, and it's a good win. Because winning in this league is not easy to do. So every win, regardless of who plays, who doesn't play, that sort of thing, winning any game is hard. So it's a good win for us.
Cheryl, you were able to get Fee involved pretty early on and then consistently through the game. How much of a point of emphasis was that over the last couple of days after not doing it the game before?
Yeah, well said. That was something that was shared. It was something that we as a staff talked about, making sure that as much as we can put, some control on it, if we have the opportunity to make sure that that's, communicated to the group. And, Fee was, obviously getting to really good spots, and we were mindful of where she was, which is what it should be.
Was there any sense among the group, I know you've waited a long time to play this team, was there any sense among this group that this was maybe a little bit more than just a normal game?
I don't think it could be anything other than two teams that met in the finals and you're playing for the first time. So exactly what you'd expect. Again, regardless of who was playing for them, regardless of how far into the season it was. And last time we saw each other was they were, in confetti and we were not. So, I think that's natural. That's human nature there.
Coach, John Quell had a stretch of over 20-some minutes between points tonight. Was defended by Lan a bunch. Fee got in there, Jess as well. Just how do you assess the defensive performance, just like of your post players in that spot?
Lan was great. Lan, I think just takes pride. We always talk about how competitive she is, and she takes pride in her one-on-one matchup. Obviously, JJ's difficult to play against, and Lan was just really attentive to maybe the spot she'd like to get to and how she was going to, counter that. And her defense was exceptional. I think she had 7 deflections on the game, 3 blocks. Lan was really valuable.
And she's been great on the defensive side of the floor since she got here. Have you seen her defense even grow from where it was, great last year to even another level this season?
Probably. Yeah, her shot blocking, I think, has gone to another level, and we just count so heavily on her ability to play pick and roll defense, take a matchup like a JJ, play one-on-one. Look at who we have on on most nights who she's guarding. That she's giving up oftentimes inches and girth, and she never complains. And I've said this before; it's because she likes Fee so much. If she didn't like Fee, I think we probably would hear more about it because that's a big-time sacrifice for her. And, she embraces it and all the different types of matchups, the things that we're asking her to do. She never gives in. If it doesn't work, if it didn't go well, she's finding these spaces where she recovers more quickly instead of getting frustrated. And, give her a tip or two, try this instead. So I do think, I think about, she was good last year, clearly one of the best defensive players in the league. So an all defensive nod would obviously, be end of season award for her. So we count on her heavily.
I think back to last season where Courtney Williams, her clutch time free throws were kind of a on and off topic throughout the middle and later part of the season. And, tonight she goes, missed quite a few shots and then steps to the line really with kind of the game on the line after that rebound. What does it say about Courtney's development just over the last year to where now she is hitting those clutch free throws?
Yeah, I just think there's a mental focus. I don't know if she'll be in here for an interview, but if she does ask or say something in the reset, just tell her no, she's still in the backcourt, and it's still Mac and Fee in the front court on our reset. So let's not get carried away. But no, it was her three was huge, and then her free throws, and that's what I appreciate. In terms of maybe some growth there. It doesn't feel very good to, be as good as she is, and the shot's not going in, and so it takes a mental fortitude to say, I still have to help my team. And the dimes that she was dropping, rebounds, that she was getting, and then when it was her time to, step up and, knock down a three or make the free throws, she was there for us.
And I mean, going off of that, 13 assists, 1 turnover, when you're having that bad of a shooting night, just to be that impactful still, how helpful is that to like a Fee who's getting a lot of those dimes?
Yeah, I mean, huge. If you're not scoring it and you're turning it over, we don't win the game. So I think for Courtney to at least lock in and say, okay, I can feed my scorer. I can find ways to get her, easy opportunities. And, as we know, Courtney's terrific in pick and roll game and, contorting her body, finding the late passes. Boom, all of a sudden they're breaking free for a layup. And so I thought her floor game was terrific. She just didn't make shots. Everything else that she did was really, really good.
Last one for me is just BC, hits a couple big threes in the fourth quarter, but she was chasing Sabrina around all night. Just how impactful was she defensively? I know if you're looking at the box score, Sabrina got her points, but it really seemed like BC made it hard.
Yeah, I mean, it was Mac's assignment. Mac had her a lot, but this was the kind of game that, honest to goodness, there was like our matchups at times, I didn't know who was guarding who because they were coming at us, so fast that we were cross-matched so much. They were cross-matched as well. I mean, the lineup that they played, when you have basically 4 guards and everything's interchangeable and, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to defend. But BC was BC when we needed her, to be tough and she had almost her, a goal that we have for her is 10 field goal attempts, so she almost got there with the 9. Very efficient, obviously, from 3. It was a nice stretch there from her and Mac with the threes that kind of gave us a separation that we were able to hang on to.
Cheryl, there were times in the third, early fourth, you got up by 12, 13, 14 points. New York could make a little bit, maybe get 6, 7 straight, but they weren't able to go on that big run.
Yeah.
What was the key there to not letting that happen?
Scoring. I thought it was like if we'd go 2 possessions and not score, and here they come, and they fly, get a 3, or Izzy scores on us, 3-point play, whatever. And too many more of that, a third possession like that, you might have seen that type of run. Because then, the offense gets harder, you're taking it out of the net every time. And so I thought our ability to score, to not let, to stack those bad possessions, and the limit was maybe 2. And we never got to the bad third and fourth possessions. I thought that was key, that we were able to answer. They started to, really, I think they cut it to 6, and I think we come down and we hit a 3. And that gives you that, okay, you can relax a little bit. You don't hit that 3, and they come back at you. Now, as we say, things tighten up a little bit. And that unfortunately, or fortunately for us, that, we never got to that.
What'd you think of the environment in there tonight?
It was terrific. Love to see the upper bowl. Felt like a finals game, I mean, it was reminiscent, obviously, of being here, game 3 and game 4, and the fans were excited, to see this matchup, and I thought they were treated to a heck of a basketball game. thought it was great, for ESPN as well.
Cheryl, one more thing on Courtney too. When her shot's not falling the way it did, how much do you think the players noticed in game that even though it's not going her way, she's still able to contribute the way that she did? And how much does that kind of rub off on everybody if something's not going your way?
Yeah.
The way you're able to still contribute if your shot's not falling.
It's what's needed from your point guard, and when you don't get it, how disruptive it is to the rest of the group. It makes everyone else out of sorts, and all of a sudden you got to try to do things maybe to help her. Maybe she's supposed to be getting something done, but we can't run those things. That is completely disruptive. And again, we wouldn't win the game if that would show itself in that way. And so I thought it was important that she handled that. And she's never a person that's going to get down because she's not making shots. Yes, of course she feels it, but she's never going to get down about it. There's times I wish she'd maybe turn down a shot or two, maybe get it a little bit later in the shot clock. And we had that conversation pretty quickly. I don't want you to, be all of a sudden think you can't shoot, but maybe sometimes until you get something a little easier and you get going again. I thought Courtney's management of the game is what allowed us to have success, despite her, that takes mental toughness. And she knows that's what the team needs from her.
Kind of to bounce off that with Courtney, how impressive is her rebounding? Obviously 9 rebounds. Just talk about the energy she brings on the defensive end and the hustle plays that you're getting from one of your all-stars.
Yeah. Courtney's long been one of the best rebounding guards in the league, but when she really, really gets locked in, you see what you saw tonight, where she's elevating above bigs, right, to go reach for rebounds that are at the top. And when she's doing that, it's just so good for us. I know she's in such a great place when that's happening, that level of activity, because rebounding, that's exactly that. Like that's a sign of, an activity that when you don't rebound, that's obviously a sign that you're not active enough. And Courtney's space defensively, I would say probably more the rebounding than maybe any necessarily one-on-one matchup. Generally speaking, Courtney's very good. In her one-on-one. I just thought as a team today defensively, we couldn't get done what we were trying to get done. It was not a case of us not playing hard enough, but we could not get done what we were trying to get done, and that's a credit to New York.
And last one from me, Napheesa, she brings a lot of energy off the bench. Just talk about the spark she gave you. She had a little 8-0 run right there by herself.
Yeah.
But also just talk about what she means to that second unit when she comes in and how she's establishing the game for you.
Yeah, and she's another one that we have conversations with. While Courtney's in the game, a lot of times I'm turning to T to tell her maybe things that Courtney isn't doing that maybe T could do. She was really locked in, and really happy for her, from a three-point shooting standpoint, because T's a very good three-point shooter, and she's kind of been on a journey, a little bit up and down. And, seeing a couple go down feels really, really good. That you're helping the team in that way. And then her ability to get to the paint. That's something different than what Courtney gives. T can get all the way. And, she was effective in that space too. And I thought defensively she was pretty active as well.
And I think the mental toughness you brought up a few times here was kind of a theme too with the game on Sunday. But today you see, Land's walking off, kind of rolling her ankle funny, and Shepard's coming in, getting her contribution in the first quarter, different points. Did you feel like you saw maybe more mental toughness as a whole from the group?
No question about it. Yeah, no question about it. We were a completely different team today in that regard. It's one of those games that like Brunson said to me before the game, if you have to say anything to get these guys up for this game, then we don't know what to do. And so there wasn't a lot of rah-rah happening. We just said, I think the quote's that we already know. That's all that was said. We already know. And that's understood, how we're feeling and what needs to happen on the court. And so not to say that, we didn't have a preparation in a way about us against Atlanta. We just played too many spurts of not good enough defense to beat Atlanta on that night.
To bookend with the fashion question we started with, can I ask about the script on the shirt and if there's any kind of corresponding message that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'm going to remember everything that says, but basically women belong everywhere in sports is what the messaging is. I think while we're gaining ground in space, with women in roles in sports far more than just 10 years ago. As we see today, there's so many things that we make progress in that are getting rolled back, and we have to make sure that we're continuing to shine the light on opportunities for women. And I thought today was a great day for that.
I'm going to ruin Terry's bookend, but Napheesa Collier was just.
I thought you were going to talk about my fashion or something.
Nope, I'm just ruining
An idea
the
for
fashion
next game?
bookend. Maybe
Oh.
next game. Fee was just spectacular tonight. I mean, it seemed like New York was throwing different looks at her, Jones at her,
Yeah.
cutting from the corners at her, and she just kept scoring. Just how impressive is, Fee?
Yeah,
Just in general.
I mean, you said it. I mean, that's well said. To get all different looks. What Fee is doing so well now, and people ask me how she's improved. Early on in her career, it would be paint. Paint's her favorite spot, right? Now she's doing so much work outside the paint that's allowing her to maybe play from outside and score. You got to score threes. You got to score on the move, and so she's just not this. You take something away, she's going to go do something else. You guard her to the right hand, she's going to go to the left hand. You take away a spin, she's going to go up and under. There's just a way about her that a lot of times is unguardable. And it was very clear, her will. We took her out 6 minutes to go, and she, for the first time since I started coaching her, she looked up at the clock. Like, what in the hell is going on? What the hell are you taking me out for? We thought she looked gassed and maybe needed a blow. And, we put her back in 30 seconds later, I think it was. But that look of, like, I don't want to come out was what I needed to see. It was great. And I won't take her out with 6 minutes to go again.
You also had Courtney play 10 minutes in the first quarter?
We've been doing that a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah. She's asked for that as well. She wants to play a little bit more than what we played her last year. Yeah. All right, thanks, everybody.